Hold the microphone back. You check yourself.
If it goes down.
We appreciate your patience. We're seating just a couple more people, and then we'll be ready to roll.
Facebook page is live now, so no questions.
Hey, while we're seeing, if you're on Facebook and want to share it, you can go to the UCC Facebook page, and you can share the event to your family and friends.
Of music, not like a real.
Agreed.
Hercules, he gets to go back. No, I mean like they're accepting one.
Pardon, they shut the door. Good evening. Welcome to East Central College. It's been a while since I've been able to say that to people. That's nice. We thank you for being flexible, and thank you for being able to join us as we're mixing it up a little bit. I think we might have been able to be out there, but the grass was still really soggy, and that would not behoove you or our band. So I think it'll be a lot better in here, and I hope you enjoy it. Tonight we're going to be doing a special presentation. This is all music by one composer. Her name is Mary Lou Williams, and that is obviously what we're going to be showing the documentary about after we play some of her music. I have a little, not speech, I guess, a little thing here for you about Mary Lou. Mary Elfrida Scruggs was born on May 8, 1910 in Atlanta, Georgia, and she grew up in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. When Scruggs was a small child, she surprised her mother by playing a song that she had just heard at her family's pump organ. Trained by her mother and aided by her gift of perfect pitch, she was playing professionally by the age of 7. Appearing as Mary Lou Burley, she worked at locations that ranged from a gambling den to a vaudeville stage. As a teenager, she started performing with saxophonist John Williams. The two were married in 1927, thus making her Mary Lou Williams. A few years later, the Williams moved to Kansas City, where she began performing with the Clouds of Joy, a Kansas City band led by Andy Kirk. In addition to being the group's pianist throughout the 1930s, she also composed and arranged much of his music. Her success with Clouds of Joy soon led her to sending compositions and arrangements to other band leaders such as Tommy Dorsey, Earl Hines, Benny Goodman, and the great Duke Ellington. Williams stayed with Andy Kirk until 1942, when she did some writing for Duke Ellington, and then played briefly with Benny Goodman's bebop group in 1948. She gradually modernized her style, and by the early and mid-40s was actively mentoring young modernists who would lead the bebop revolution of the late 40s, including Thelonious Monk, Bud Powell, and Dizzy Gillespie. Williams' Zodiac Suite showed off some of her modern ideas and was performed in Carnegie Hall by 1946. In 1954, she found solace in Catholicism. And during this time, Williams founded her own record label, Mary Records, which was the first to be started by a woman. She also established the Cecilia Music Publishing Company. Given her newfound faith, Williams began to compose sacred music, composing several masses. One of these was Mary Lou's Mass, and was the first jazz piece performed ever in New York's St. Patrick's Cathedral. Williams was 71 years old when she succumbed to cancer in Durham, North Carolina. She left behind more than 350 compositions and the Mary Lou Williams Foundation, which helps children and adults learn more about jazz. In addition, the Kennedy Center's Mary Lou Williams Women in Jazz Festival and Duke University's Mary Lou Williams Center for Black Culture were both established in her honor. She's a pretty fascinating person. I think what is fascinating to me is not only was she writing for a lot of these men, but she was also influencing them. If you listen to a lot of the transitions in the style that we play tonight, we're actually going to play them in order of when she wrote them, starting with 1930 and moving up to, I believe, 1947. At that point, you can definitely hear the influence of bebop. It's actually a Dizzy Gillespie tune. And I think it's pretty fascinating to hear her transition and how she grew herself. So we hope you enjoy this. This has been an incredible opportunity to work on with the students. I hope you enjoy Mary Lou Williams.
speak real quick.
The first chart was Roll 'Em, and that was 1930, I believe, and I said that was for Andy Kirk's Clouds of Joy out of Kansas City. That was a territory band back then. Definitely a jump chart. It sounds like a nice upbeat dance, bassy style chart, doesn't it? Our next chart is Camel Hop. It's Camel Hop, and this is actually a commercial for Camel cigarettes in 1932.
One, two, three, four, 1, 2.
Failed to mention this earlier. You've heard from Madison on clarinet today so far, Madison, Jordan on trumpet, Andrew on trumpet, Jared on tenor saxophone, and Alex on keys. I think I've got all of our soloists so far. We'll try to get to everyone else. Our next chart is What's the Story Morning Glory? And it's going to feature Miss Chloe Simpler on vocals and Mr. Alex Poole on clarinet. A lot of jazz this semester. It's been really wonderful. So we thank Dr. Tammy for that. Here we go. This is What's the Story Morning Glory. Let's give our soloist another round of applause. Okay, that was What's the Story, Morning Glory. A mellow bit of rhythm is our next chart. And this is going to feature Alex. Which Alex? Alex? How are you doing, Mr. Poole? Alex Kinsey and Jared, right? Am I missing any soloist? All right, awesome. They're going to be wonderful. You're going to enjoy. Here we go. All right, we had Alex Kinsey and Jared again on that one. Thank you guys, wonderful job. We're creeping into the 1940s, and this was a funny time for jazz in that there were a lot of people kind of hanging on to swing and it really dominates all the way through the 40s still as we get through World War II. But swing is very commercialized at this point. There's a lot of shticks sometimes, and that's definitely what this song has. It's the whistle blues. You can start hearing some of the modernization of chord structure that Mary Lou Williams has at this point too. As we get into the next two charts, you have some funky chords that are a little bit different, and then definitely a lot more advanced chord structure by the time we get to Lonely Moments and our last chart, The Land of Obladi. It's still going to be in swing style, and this is also at a point where she has now visited Europe and coming back, and she's starting to do that a little bit more. A lot of the jazz artists were doing that, particularly because of the war. So you'll start to hear a little bit more of the modernization, but also still hanging on to that swing style, that swing feel. So it's fun too, because we get to whistle for you. You can whistle along if you know the words. Hello, hello. this one.
Actually, you might.
For our next chart, this is Lonely Moments, and we're definitely getting into a different style of music. There is an open solo that is just drums, Mr. Sam and Jared on sax. So it's going to, definitely doesn't even have like a bass feel behind it. You can tell we're headed towards bebop at this point. In my notes earlier, I mentioned the Zodiac Suite. She has already recorded and performed that piece at this point. Mr. Duke Ellington was also recording at Carnegie Hall at this point, and not actually having very much success. People kept chanting and wanting his swing style that he was known for, his Take the A Train and those types of charts. And he was trying to get into this new style, and it just wasn't working for the audience. Mary Lou's is a little bit different because she's going more for like this bebop style. Duke Ellington's was more classically trained, more orchestral in style. And bebop was not that. So we're getting a different style. We're getting a little more of an advanced style, but we're still getting a full big band, which is interesting in itself. Our next chart is Lonely Moments. We have one more song for you for our portion of the concert, and this is definitely a bebop style song. This was recorded by Mr. Dizzy Gillespie. I don't think Mary Lou actually recorded it. It was strictly him, and we're going to have Miss Chloe back on vocals, and Mr. Andrew Bay is going to be our Dizzy Gillespie. Actually, before I go on, I did want to thank the students who persevered through an interesting year, and they've done a wonderful job, I think. They've worked very hard, and it's great to have an audience to perform to. So thank you as well for being here. I really appreciate that. A big thank you to everybody that's helped with tech, with lights and sound, everybody that has flipped on the lights for us last minute and making sure that we could do all of this and stream at home as well. We could not do so many things without you here at the college, and we really appreciate each and every one of you. So thank you all back there. Thank you to my colleague Lee for doing this with us. I really love this collaboration. I'm excited to show you this film. We can learn a little bit more about Mary Lou Williams. So thank you for that, Lee. Appreciate it. Okay, are you guys ready?
I met a beautiful princess in the land of Oobladee. She smiled and said, Oobadilia, meaning you appeal to me. I said, Oobadilly-la, and do with pride. Oobadilly-la, and do, let's take a ride in the land of Oobladee, Oobladee. She drove me straight to her castle in the land of Oobladee. And there I met her two sisters, Louie-Da and Doo-Wibbly. Louie-Da, without a doubt, was twice my size. Doo-Wibbly, the other sister, had 3 eyes, and the 2 had eyes for me. Oobladee, I love the beautiful princess from the land of Oobladee. I asked her, Ooby-Da-Oobly, darling, will you marry me? She said, Oobadilly-blasty-la-ee-blue, there is nothing in the land I'd rather do. In the land of Oobladee, Oobladee, they led me straight to the altar. In the land of Oobladee, I had a very bad feeling. Things did not look right to me. So before I said I do, I looked aside. They have pulled a switcheroo, they changed the bride. Oh, they can't do that to me, Oobladee. Western-bound freighter from the land of Oobladee. I jumped when I saw the princess who was waiting there for me. Now we say oodilly-lobbly-dobbly-doo, meaning I will always be in love with you. In the land of Oobladee, Oobladee.
Just give us a quick second. We're going to bring down the screen and we'll get ready to start the film. Thank you again for being a flexible audience. We really appreciate you being here tonight, and thank you. So give us just a few minutes and we'll be ready for the film.